To give codes, I will pin them in the comment section down below. Thanks, bye. Hey guys, we're gonna take a look at Reveries in the Rain 200 meter dive. So first of all, this is the most difficult content in the game. So you could not approach anything more difficult than this. But there are still very valuable tips I can give you. So if we take a look at the very first battle at this 200 meter dive, you will immediately see that you will have to bring Beast Afflatus characters. And the best character, the best possible character you can use here is Anionala. So if you have Anionala, then bring her in and give us and support her with some survivability like heals and shields and stuff, and you will have a much easier time. But then again, remember, this is extremely difficult, so no matter what you do, this will not be a walk in the park. But bring Anionala and or J, if you have those, you will have a much easier time as the Beast Afflatus deals increased damage here. Pair those two, or one of those even, with survivability. Now let's look at what the enemies actually do. So first of all, you have this Xeno Shield Bearer. He will taunt and sometimes use reflect. So, and you have to keep an eye on this, because if he has reflect, do not go nuts with like your main DPS, because you would either straight up kill yourself, or you would deal tremendous amount of damage to yourself, and you don't want to do that. So keep an eye out on his reflect. The most important part about this fight is this boss right here, Moldir, Admiral's 8. And that is because, like you can see here, after attacking, after she attacks, she gains 1 stack of unsparring. And she loses a stack of regen. But this regen thing does not matter whatsoever, right? Point is, after she attacks, she gains a stack of unsparring, which increases her damage, and this can stack up to 50 times. Now after you attack her, after she has been attacked, she loses a stack of unsparring. And you have to make sure to make her lose stacks of unsparring. Like every round, every 2 rounds, you will have to attack her at least once. Otherwise, she will get out of control and deal too much damage to you. And if you remember what I just said, this guy will provide taunt and reflect, so you will not be able to attack Moldir like straight away, straight up. You will have to go through the taunt, and the only way you can do this is by using mass attacks, preferably mass attacks that hit the entire enemy team no matter what. Because if you use a mass attack that hits like 2 or 3 targets, you are in risk of not hitting Moldir, and she's stacking up on unsparring way too much, right? And that's pretty much all there is to say about this fight already. You want to bring Beast Afflatus characters. The best possible characters you can bring is Anionala. She's unmatched, but Jay could also help. So if you have these characters, bring them in. And yeah, you will take a huge amount of damage, and so you have to have great survivability with heals and shields, whatever you might want to bring. Like Mrs. Bubble or Fatudu or all that jazz, right? Just bring survivability. I used here Fatudu and Lucy, and I obliterated this battle. I didn't even use a Beast Afflatus character because I don't have one. So there you go, right? But yeah, those are the things. Bring Beast Afflatus characters, watch out for the reflect, and make sure you attack the actual boss, Moldir, to reduce the unsparring stacks. That's the fight, right? For the Echo, you want to bring Operatic Reflection, because simply she is from the Beast Afflatus, and she does like also mass attacks, and she reduces Moldir's stacks of unsparring. And that's about it for battle number 1. Now let's take a look at battle number 2. Here you want to bring Star Afflatus characters. That is very, very, very important, and you want to use the Echo Star of Misfortune. Now, the best characters here, like you need Star Afflatus characters that deal a lot amount of damage, right? Not like support characters like Tooth Fairy and stuff, but she's also very, very beneficial. Star Afflatus characters that deal damage. The best character to use here is Windsong, and if you have 37, then you can use her as well, or I don't have a Windsong, so I use 37 here as my main DPS, and that is totally fine. Another very, very, very important thing about this fight is that you are aware of the enemy boss silencing you with his ultimate. That will happen. You cannot negate this. Even if you like want to go big brain and bring in characters like Becornbloom that seal his ultimate away, that is not gonna work. He's completely immune to that. He, like Becornbloom's ult, or any ult for that matter, any Moxie reduction won't work here. He will use his ult, and he will silence your entire team. So, you have to work around this by, first of all, when you see like, hey, this boss, he will use his ultimate next round, you gotta make sure to heal up and be at full HP, preferably. So, what silence actually does is, it makes your entire team not be able to use buff, debuff, heal, or counter type incantations. So you can't use anything but attack incantations. And that's why you have to bring characters that use attack incantations double, right? For example, like if you look at like 37, excuse me, at the character 37, this woman right here. She is from the Star Afflatus, so she deals increased damage, and she does not have debuff, heal, or any incantation. She uses 2 attack incantations. So she is completely immune to the silence. The silence doesn't do anything to 37. And that's exactly the type of character you want to bring. A Star Afflatus that uses 2 attack incantations to be immune to the silence. Another great character that I can recommend here is Charlie. Why? Because she also is from the Star Afflatus, and she also uses 2 attack incantations. That is the key part. You also want to keep in mind that you only always focus the boss. These dogs, they don't matter. You can completely ignore these dogs. They are irrelevant, 100% irrelevant. You have to take down the boss, and once you did, the battle actually ends. So keep focusing this guy, and keep the silence in mind. Bring Star Afflatus characters with attack incantations. Don't bring too many characters that have anything else but attack incantations. That's the whole point of this battle, and that's how you will succeed. So now let's go and move to the last battle, to battle number 3 in the 200 meter dive. Now here it doesn't matter what kind of Afflatus you bring to this fight, and there are very, very beneficial things that you can do though, and that is bringing plant Afflatus characters combined with the Mountain Ghost. Now we have to look at the Mountain Ghost a little bit more in detail, because before we actually do that, let me tell you that you cannot use too many buff or counter incantations, and also debuff and healing. So again, all you want to do here is use attack incantations, because otherwise you will provide the Angry Exile, this boss, with too many beneficial buffs. So you want to keep attacking, and you are bound at some point to heal yourself, because this boss will deal damage to your characters, right? So at some point you would have to heal. But you don't want to do that, because if you would use a healing incantation, you would provide buffs, right? This one right here, damage taken reduction plus 5%, and it stacks and stacks and stacks the more healing incantations you would use. So you don't want to do that. And the way to prevent you from having to use heal incantations is to bring plant afflatus characters, use the Mountain Ghost with the right amount of setup in his skill tree. Because you will see there are nodes here that grant you healing whenever a plant type character uses his incantations. There are two of those. Those one right here. Plant allies get skill healing taken plus 20 and status healing taken minus 20. So whenever you use an incantation, you will get healed. This also, when a plant ally casts an incantation, the ally gains cure for a round duration equal to its incantation rank. So you can use an attack incantation, any incantation, with a plant type character, and you grant stacks of cure to yourself, which will heal you without using a healing incantation. And that's exactly what you want to go for in this fight. You can see here there are two nodes, two of the same nodes, like this. Your increase healing is increased. You increase the heal that you take. And this node is twice here. It's somewhere else as well, right? And you want to take these exact nodes to provide healing to yourself without actually using a healing incantation. And the most beneficial characters in this fight are Willow and Tuesday. If you have these two, this battle will be like that is how you make this battle the easiest it could possibly be. Poison is the best way to go here. So use Willow and Tuesday if you have them. Also, you want to take as the key node, you want to take this node here right on top, because when a plant ally casts a rank 2 or 3 incantation, there is a 25% chance that you cast this incantation one additional time. And yeah, those will be your poison incantations, with, for example, Sotheby. And that's it. Also, there is another very, very key thing here. Because this Angry Exile, this boss, has a very, very strong ultimate. It does a lot of damage. And it is very, very beneficial for you to prevent this ultimate from happening. Now, you can go a little bit overboard with this, like I did, because I don't have the characters that would be good for this fight except for Sotheby. So I had to cheese it a little bit. Point is that you don't want this boss to use its ultimate. So characters like Becornbloom are very, very beneficial, because Becornbloom's ultimate prevents your enemies from using their ultimate. She provides a seal to the enemy for 3 rounds. So for 3 rounds, the enemy boss will not be able to use his ultimate. Very, very beneficial. There is the character La Sauce, and Becornbloom is also from the plant afflatus, which is beneficial, right? We did go over this because of the Mountain Ghost. That makes it very, very beneficial to use plant type characters here. Yeah, I already mentioned the reasons. So another very good character here is La Sauce, because plant afflatus, she has attack incantation, and her ultimate does reduce the Moxie -5 on the target it hits. So again, this is another very, very great way, the best way possible, in fact, to prevent this enemy boss, the Angry Exile, to use his ultimate onto your characters. And that's pretty much about it, right? Remember, you want to use attack incantations. Do not use buff or counter incantations by any means. And debuff incantations only if you have to apply things like poison. And healing is completely unnecessary, because the Mountain Ghost with its skill tree will provide that to you anyways. So Use attack incantations as much as you can. Poison is the best way to conquer this fight. And you can use characters like Buckhorn Bloom or La Sauce to prevent him from using his ultimate. And that's it. That were all the 3 fights from Reveries in the Rain 200 meter dive. I hope that was informative and fun, but until next time, take care of yourselves, have a great day, don't forget to leave a follow, and we love this game.